before you today, and I look forward to your questions.
Thank you, Director. Thank you for your ongoing work on protecting workers' hard-earned money. I want to discuss something that we've talked about privately, many in this committee have asked about, and one of the real highlights of what CFPB does is the Service Members Civil Relief Act. We passed it to provide active duty service, just generally what you're doing with service members, but specifically we passed it to provide active duty service members with the financial relief. It guarantees service members and their families a reduction in interest rates on any pre-service loans. My first question is, Director, would you say that all service members are receiving the benefits that Congress intended for them to have?
And no, they aren't. And in fact, we saw the destructive impact of that years ago with the illegal foreclosures of active duty military families in violation of the Service Member Civil Relief Act. You know, with a higher rate environment, they are entitled to a 6% cap on pre-service obligations, and we do not see many of them always getting it. We estimate that fewer than 10% of eligible auto loans and 6% of personal loans to activated members of the Guard and Reserve were getting those rate reductions.
So what can financial institutions be doing to ensure that they get the financial benefits that Congress intended?
Well, certainly many of them are starting to just give it automatically. They can often know if a service member is activated, and they can do it rather than making the service member go through an obstacle course of paperwork.
Okay, thank you. I'm going to work towards ensuring financial institutions proactively check for SICRA reductions. Our service members and families should be able to keep their money, as you've continued to fight for. Thank you.
And on the Military Lending Act, we've pursued more actions and we are litigating there to go after the egregious repeat offenders. The Military Lending Act is one of the most important protections, not only to protect those families, but as the Department of Defense would share, our force readiness as well.
Thank you. This committee is particularly with credit agencies, have talked a lot about medical debt and what we do. The complexity of medical billing, coupled with the vulnerability of consumers seeking to obtain and finance medical services, creates opportunities for abusive, maybe that's the wrong word, for abusive practices by predatory medical debt collectors. Discuss what actions CFPB will take to hold medical debt collectors accountable when they attempt to collect bills that are not owed or engage in other unfair, deceptive, and abusive practices.
Well, we've already been taking some actions on the enforcement front, but there's going to be more. We've conducted quite a bit of analysis about medical debt. And you know, this is not like a normal loan. You don't sign up like a credit card or a mortgage. It happens to you, and then often a bill is put on your credit report, even if you've paid it, even if the insurance company has covered it, and you're stuck in the middle. Many people end up just paying it to get rid of it, and we are exploring whether it's even appropriate, given the widespread inaccuracies with credit reporting, whether it should be on credit reports at all. Many financial institutions will tell you that data is often not even predictive at all, and it should not be used to coerce people into paying something they don't owe.
So walk through. I mean, when we've had the three major credit agencies in front of this committee, we've done it 2 years in a row. It's a practice we started and will continue to do. Talking, especially one of the main topics has been medical debt and what it does to consumers, as you just explained. Some 10 million Americans have had their credit histories harmed by medical debt. Talk more specifically, and then my last question about walk through what that rule, what you are working on to fix that. If we can't get the credit agency to do the right thing, they've taken steps, but not enough. Tell me what you would do.
So the three credit reporting conglomerates have already taken steps to remove certain amounts of the debt. We are proposing or exploring rules that would limit credit reporting of certain medical bills. We're collecting feedback from small businesses right now about it. We've been talking to the medical industry, hospitals, medical debt collection, providers, and we may, although we have not made any firm conclusions, propose a rulemaking to restrict the reporting of medical bills on credit reports.
Thank you, Director. Senator Scott.